We are live. We are also direct with world-class coach and expert Amanda Clark, who helps high-achieving women who are done doing everything alone. They're not here to manage a grown man. They want to have a partner. They want to have growth. They want to have a vision. They want to have that person to really rely on. It's not about a communication problem, but it's a pattern. And Amanda is here to help reset and regulate, help the communication, and also help the connection. She works with women globally who feel like they need to have a change, and Amanda is that woman. Welcome to She Leads, She Sells. Amanda Clark in the building, AmandaClark.biz. Welcome, sister. Speak to me.
Yes, thank you so much for having me. I was so excited when you reached out to be here today. So I just want to say thank
Amazing.
you.
Where's that matcha latte? And I mean, I've got my British tea. This is the
Yes.
finest. Is that match? Look at that. Sister, you gotta send me that you gotta send me that recipe on Insta. You know what I
I
mean?
will.
I need to get that
Yep.
recipe.
Super simple.
100. Let me know who's perfect for you to serve. Is it 7-figure entrepreneur, multiple 6-figure corporate, like founder? Like tell me, like, who did you really love serving, Amanda?
Yeah. I find most of my clientele are ambitious women who actually have their own businesses. So
Wow.
6-figure, multiple 6-figure and up
Lovely.
women who are highly capable in their businesses, but they're trying to carry those same skills with them into their marriage, and it's not working quite as well over there.
Wow. That's amazing. How do you find them? How do you get visible to these people? Is it interesting? Because sometimes when I speak with relationship coaches, it's a little bit, because you know, when you're a business coach, hey, do you want to get more clients? Or, you know, I've got some ideas on how you can get some more leads. It's like, okay. But it's like when it's relationships and things like this, maybe it's a little bit more, you got to be a bit more subtle. What's your approach to getting visible?
Yeah, I like to, well, Instagram and TikTok are two of the main places that I hang out. I also have my own podcast called No More Good Girl, but
Oh,
also here locally, collaborating with therapists and doing workshops within the community. So those are the main places that I hang out and find people.
amazing. Tell me, what type of work do you do? Do you help to find the block, subconscious work, shadow work, um, like energy work? Like, tell me your modalities and how you like to really affect human transformation in this area.
Yeah. So I am a somatic coach. So I do breath work, but I also work on the somatic, emotional, mental, behavioral, and unconscious levels of the human body because we can only mindset our way into so much change before we get stuck. And that's where the somatic piece comes in. If you don't have the somatic piece within to help yourself heal, then you're not going to get where you want to go. You cannot mindset your way into a life or a relationship that you love, is what I always say. So you got to
Amazing.
get
So
in the
are we
body.
talking energetics? Are we talking about energetics, energy here, or?
I'm not like an energy healer, is what you would hear, but more so the breath work, moving energy through the body, releasing the energy that's holding you back within the body. So a lot of that type of work. So inner child work, I do a lot of breath work, I do a lot of, and then following sensations throughout the body until it offers up essentially what's wanting to be healed. So oftentimes I'll have a woman feel a sensation within her body and a memory will pop up. And then we'll do work around that memory. We'll do some inner child work, is usually what it ends up being around that memory so that she can release it.
What are you reading right
Ooh.
now, and how can that really lean into like transformation? I think in terms of what I'm reading is these two gems. So with
Okay.
this, the whole element of energy, when it comes to sales, it's moving from fearful energy to servant to joy. When you step into joy, people feel it and people buy. And when you're limitless, people feel it and people buy. So it's just energy there. And I really love this book, Fanatical Prospecting.
Okay.
It's
I have not heard
miss
of
a
either one of
meal,
those.
miss a meal, but don't miss connecting with people. Yeah,
Mm.
it's all about connecting. Tell me yourself, like, what are you reading and what's the insights? behind that?
Ooh, yes. I have been reading Unbound by Kasia Urbaniak, I think is her
Okay.
name.
Yeah.
So that one has been really good. That one is, she was actually a dominatrix, and she teaches you how to kind of like bring that energy into your relationship and
Okay.
step into your power. So I've loved that one. Compelled to Control is another one that talks about like why we try to control other people, why we try to control situations, and kind of the psychology behind that. And I did just finish Jillian Turecki's book. Let me try to remember what that one was called. It Begins With You, a relationship book.
Wow.
So I've really liked that one also. And Terry Rill's books, I've read those this year also. So Us, one is called Us.
Wow.
I'm in his program currently, and so
Okay.
I've enjoyed reading the books just to keep me on that same path.
Amazing. Do you do workshops? You seem an accomplished speaker. Do you do a lot of online workshops and offline to get visible?
Yes, I do a weekly workshop. I have one today. I love them. They are my favorite
Wow.
thing to do. I teach the 5 shifts that women can do so that they feel deeply loved in their relationships. And essentially, it's to get you out of that roommate phase that you and I had talked about, I know, before you
Yeah.
hit record, but being able to pull them out of that, living like roommates and back into passionate partnership, honestly, for both of you. Both of you are in a biosphere, and if one of you is breathing toxicity into that, you're both going to feel it. Like, you both have to breathe that air back in. So I host a workshop to kind of teach you how to get out of that and create a better environment for both you and your partner.
Amazing. What's your take on relationship coaches who aren't in a relationship? Like, what's your take on it? Is it doesn't matter if someone's got the skill, or like, yeah, what's your take? It's a common debate.
Yeah, I think my belief is there's something, because we're all in relationship essentially with family, with friends, with, all of these different people. But I think there's also something to be said with coaches who have lived through some of what you're going through because they understand it at a deeper level. They don't have to be in a relationship right now, but I bet they've had relationships in the past, possibly. They've probably dated people. So I would say a lot of that is, I don't think you have to be married or in a serious relationship right now to be able to coach people through certain situations. For me, I have been able to take a lot of my skills from, one, the way that I was raised and seeing those relationships, but then dating many people and now being in an almost 20-year marriage,
Oh,
having that
20-year
depth.
marriage.
Yeah.
I should call you Benjamin a Button. Now let's push the relationship side of stuff. How is my sister looking so young? Like tell me that you didn't get you must have got married at 10 years old, yeah, or 11, yeah?
18, actually. So we were babies.
Okay.
We were babies. Yep.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Wow. I commend you, and I wish a happy union, and I wish you to be married for 60 years, 60, 80 years,
Yep. Well, thank you. We're on a good trajectory. A lot has changed in our own relationship, so
Yeah.
I'm
Amazing. Kids,
enjoying
you
it
have
now.
kids as well?
Yep, we have 4.
4. Yeah, I've got 2. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Kids are fun.
Keeps you busy. Keeps you busy.
Yes, for sure.
How do you want to be remembered?
I want to be remembered as making women feel welcome and seen and unalone in their struggles in their relationship. I think that there comes a lot of shame, especially the clients that I'm working with, a lot of shame in like, how did my relationship get here? I didn't even think it was this bad. And so I think just helping them really feel like there's no shame in that, and then being able to shift out of that and step into their power. That's how I want to be remembered, as being the girl who helped women do that.
Amazing. Do you have a book coming out? Have you got a book?
I mean, I have 17,000 words written.
Wow. Yeah, I
But no,
think we need that, sister.
yeah,
100%.
yeah.
We need
So
the
maybe
magic.
maybe in the
We
near
need the
future.
source.
Yeah.
Hey, no. You're not gonna get off like that. Can we have you finish that book this year? Can we make that happen? Like live on Sheely's. Can I be your accountability partner to get that done, my sister, or what?
Oh my gosh, you might have to give me a year. A year from
Yeah.
now. Yep,
Oh,
1 year.
sister. Yeah. I'm putting
I
you on the spot.
I know. I did just start a Substack account. I haven't written anything yet, but I have a very strong desire. I love to write. And
Yeah.
I think in the world of AI, I mean, I'll
Amazing.
make a confession here. I let AI kind of strategize for me. I've let AI, I'll take some ideas and I'll be like, here's what I want to talk about. Here's what I want to say. And it's like, I just want to get back to me and writing. So that's
Yeah.
been on my heart a
Yeah.
lot.
Because, I think I've just finished the book after a year of writing it. And I think it's the best thing that I've ever done. I mean, it's been harder than training for a marathon, harder than a marathon training, because it's like you have to, it's almost, you got to be disciplined and focused. But I kind of went deeper into the subject matter and I took the subject matter to another level. And yeah, it's like when you believe in your topic, then it's just like, wow, people can see the unequivocal expertise, the expertise that you have, which is interesting. So let them know what really was the motivation for you stepping into your calling. Like, what was it that made you step into this calling?
Yeah. Life experience, honestly.
Oh,
Born and raised in a very chaotic household, a lot of abuse. And then stepping into, some of the kids that I even dated in high school and looking back at how toxic those relationships were. And then getting pregnant at 18, having our first when we were 19. And I tell you what, our marriage in the beginning was an absolute train wreck. And I had been told by one of my teachers in high school, most marriages fail at the 7-year mark. So I was like, okay, if I can just stay married for 7 years, I'll be fine. And no, year 7 came and went. And I was like, oh shit, like I have to change something because
mm,
nothing is changing. We're miserable. We were both miserable. We were barely scraping by. And I had stepped into your traditional wife roles of cooking dinner and maintaining the house and doing all the laundry. And then he'd come home from work and just be the cool dad that got to play with the kids and did nothing else besides work. And I was also working. So it was just really interesting to look at when I hit that point. And I was like so resentful and angry, and I couldn't do it anymore. I couldn't do it anymore. So I shifted and I started showing up differently. And my whole relationship over the past 10 plus years has evolved completely. So that's really what got me into it, is a lot of lived experience. And then, of course, I wanted to take my skills to the next level. So coaching certifications. I'm also in a certification right now to work with couples. And that's what really has done it for me.
wow. Why do marriages crumble at that 7-year mark? And obviously, amongst entrepreneurs, the divorce rate's 50%, um, something like that. Tell me, yeah, what is causing this epidemic? Is it people not having the conversations, or?
Feel that it's people don't have any repair. We get in these cycles, right? So talking about the patterns that I look at, I've gotten really good at picking out relationship patterns, but we step into a relationship and there's phases of it, right? We have the honeymoon phase, which is like the great, it's harmonious, we feel good. Then the honeymoon phase wears off and we step into what we call like this disillusionment phase. And that's where conflict starts, stress, real life, maybe kids come into the picture. And there's no we were never taught, this is what like irritates me about school systems, is you're never taught how to handle conflict. We have to handle conflict with coworkers, with family, with our kids, in relationships. And if we're never taught that, we don't carry that into our relationships. We essentially recreate our childhood in our marriages. But my belief is that, and I think a lot of studies show it as well, but we get the disillusionment phase comes into play and we don't know how to repair. So we end up stuck in these same cycles of we fight, we try to talk about it, but then both of us are kind of keeping score. And then maybe your partner walks away and stonewalls for a little bit or goes silent and then comes back a few hours or a few days later and asks you something about the kids. And then you kind of fall back into a normal pattern, but the issue was never handled. And I think that relationships fail because so many of those issues just keep getting swept under the rug, and eventually resentment gets so big that we can't keep living that way. And then we try to bring things up again, and then it gets flipped back on us, and then just nothing ever gets repaired.
Wow. Amanda, that book needs to come out. 100%. The world needs this.
Thank you.
Listening to you, your gift, your essence, and just how joyous you are, even connecting with you on Instagram, you have a certain joy in you. And I think, women in this world are lucky to have you,
Thank you so much.
to serve. Last question. Why don't men like going for this inner work? Like, why is it women who are more wanting to connect and to step into this inner work? Yeah, why is it women? What's the problem with men? Not problem with men, but what is it with men? There is something there.
Yeah. I think there's a few things. I think the first thing is men benefit from the system. Men benefit from women handling everything and making their lives easier. So I think that's a piece of it. I think the other piece of it is men are taught that ultimately, if we look at a patriarchal system, and I know a lot of men hate it when I say patriarchy, but we're going to say it. A patriarchal system where men are taught to be in control over. And what we want now in relationships is to be in control with. We're partnerships, we're equals, we both get to have a voice. But women have evolved because women have stepped back into the workforce. Women can now buy houses, women can now have credit cards, women can now, do all of these things. And men have not evolved quite as quickly as women have because they haven't had to. Women haven't held man to a higher standard. So women praise men for doing what's expected of a woman. Oh my gosh, she took the kids to practice today. I can't even believe it. I'm shocked. So I think that is a piece of it where patriarchy plays in and what men were taught about being masculine. They think that being masculine means being invulnerable. Don't share your feelings. Stuff it down. You can be angry or you can feel lust. Those are under patriarchy, those are two emotions that men are typically allowed. And so being vulnerable for a man makes him appear weak, and he does not want to appear weak. So he's been taught this from childhood. A lot of our society has been taught this from childhood, and then women are taught to support. And women are tired because they've been doing all of the work and stepping back into the workforce while men have continued to benefit and just ride on the backs of the women supporting them. And so I do think that that's why men have not been as motivated to change because they haven't had to yet. And I think when we apply a little more consequences in the relationship by holding boundaries and setting a higher standard and saying, hey, listen, I want you to participate with me, not be in control of me, not come home and scroll your phone for 5 hours while I handle all the nightly chaos, but come home and be an active participant in this relationship, in our family. And if you don't, I'm really going to have to think about what that means for my future. I don't want to stay in a relationship with somebody who doesn't want to participate in it. And so I think when we start to apply some consequences, they feel a little more motivated to change. But I think up until this point,
Beautiful.
They haven't had to because they benefit.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. That deserves some clicks. It deserves it.
Thank you.
Similar to my work in terms of sales, I think it's been system-based, designed by men, for men, which is why women haven't enjoyed it. And so that's why I created my whiteboard methodology. Let them know how they can get in contact with you and who you serving, sister.
Yes, you can find me on Instagram at its.amandaclark. Also, I have a podcast called No More Good Girl, or my website, amandaclark.biz. But I'm mostly on Instagram or TikTok if you want. I think I'm Amanda Clark Coach on TikTok. I just play around over there.
Tingles going down, goosebumps. I think this is one of the best episodes. I've done 150 of these. This is up there.
Thank you.
Honesty, alignment, pure grace, pure beauty. This is it. She leads, she sells. Amanda Clark in the building, laying it down.
Thank you.
She leads, she sells, and we out.